Good evening. Welcome to ABC News Queensland. I'm Louisa Rebgetz. The Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull remains confident the United States will honour its refugee resettlement deal with Australia despite Donald Trump's immigration crackdown. The US President has signed an executive order suspending his country's refugee program and flagging a process of extreme vetting for future migrants. Here's political reporter Jane Norman.
Malcolm Turnbull. Welcome.
Malcolm Turnbull has his eyes firmly fixed on the big fish of world politics. Determined to ensure Donald Trump doesn't scuttle another carefully negotiated deal. In his latest executive order, the US President has suspended his country's refugee program and flagged a new system of extreme vetting to keep what he says are radical Islamist extremists out of the US.
We want to ensure that we are not admitting into our country the very threats our soldiers are fighting overseas.
The order also bars Syrian arrivals indefinitely, gives priority to Christian asylum seekers and halves the country's refugee intake, putting a question mark over its resettlement deal with Australia.
It's for the government to urgently clarify the future of that refugee resettlement deal.
US officials have begun interviewing refugees on Nauru and Manus Island, but so far none have been transferred.
We are very confident and satisfied that the existing arrangements will continue.
There's been no direct assurance, but the ABC understands the government's received only positive indications from US officials. Then there's the fine print, Section 5E of the order, which says, despite the suspension, the Secretaries of State and Homeland Security can admit refugees on a case-by-case basis using their discretion if it would enable the US to conform to a pre-existing international agreement.
It's set out there. It's quite clear that the administration has set out in the order the ability to deal with existing arrangements such as the one that we have.
That particular section is missing from the draft executive order released on Wednesday. The ABC understands it was only included in the final version after a direct intervention from the Prime Minister's office. This one-off deal was considered a major coup for Malcolm Turnbull. Losing it would represent a damaging loss of face. The issue will almost certainly be discussed when the two leaders speak on Sunday morning, their first phone call since Donald Trump was sworn in.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
We have a great deal to discuss.
The President also has phone calls lined up with the leaders of Japan, Germany, France and Russia. Malcolm Turnbull in high-powered company. Jane Norman, ABC News, Canberra.